So in this video I'm just going to talk about the mould that you often find under the bonnet on a Peugeot Partner or Citroën Berlingo van. So this particular van is electric, as you can see, but the same happens on all their vans, whether it's electric, petrol or diesel, and in this case this is a 2018 van, and this is a extremely common problem on all these Peugeot Partners and Citroën Berlingos. You get mould growing on this carpet type material they've used along the bottom of the windscreen scuttle here. So all I'm doing on this video is just sort of highlighting this issue, because I've seen people comment on Facebook and the group sort of questioning this. This is standard on these vans. I've even seen nearly new vans with mould growing on this carpet type material they've used, and it's purely because of the type of material they use. An engine bay isn't waterproof, it's damp, and because they've used this sort of felt type carpet material, the same sort of stuff you'd use in a boot, it gets damp and then mould grows on it, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I'll just show you what's underneath. So the whole thing is held on with these clips, and you can, well, not that there's any point removing these, but I'm removing them on this, so I'll show you what's behind, and it just shows that there's not much you can do about it. So I've got all the clips removed from the whole length there, and there's not much underneath. So there is the metal tray here. What I might do is actually whip that windscreen scuttle off, that plastic off, but yeah, there isn't water pooling underneath this fabric at all, and there actually wouldn't be. You've got the top of the shock absorbers there, this is all dry, there's cobwebs in there, that's all dry, it's just damp absorbing into this fabric material. Simply they've just used the wrong sort of material for this. So there's not much you can really do about it. The best thing I found is just to vacuum the mould off, and in this case I'm going to just do it from the inside as well. But whatever you do, it's just a temporary solution. This is always going to get damp because it's open to the elements, and it's always going to get mouldy. You could spray it with an anti-fungal product, or you could wet wash it, but I don't think I'd want to add any more moisture to that material, because it's only going to make it worse, and whatever you do is going to be a very temporary fix anyway. So I found a vacuum cleaner actually works pretty well at just sort of getting the worst and tidying it up. What makes it worse is this bit of rubber you get on these vans. This rubber absorbs moisture as well, so it acts like a great big sponge. So this, when it's wet in the winter, this is always wet, and as you can see they split as well, so these are a right pain as well. And the key thing with these, which I always see, is they're not put in the slots properly, and consequently they tear when the bonnet's slammed down on them. So there is a slot there where that hooks in, and there is a slot in the other side, and you just need to make sure they're always down in their slots. And you can see on this side it's torn as well, and that's just because they stick to the underside of the bonnet, so when you open the bonnet they come out of their slots, and if you don't put it back properly and slam the bonnet, they eventually tear. Really, this whole drain scuttle or windscreen scuttle is a bad design on these vans. This acts like a sponge and does deteriorate, and this is a carpet which isn't waterproof, so you shouldn't be using these sort of products in an area like this. All you can really do here is just to make sure your drain points here are free of leaves and debris. What happens in the autumn is you get leaves and seeds and things like that off the trees blocking it up here, and that, if those drain holes are blocked, that's going to exacerbate the problem. And obviously that exists on all vehicles. It's a common problem, particularly in the autumn, and you can see on that one there's quite a bit of green mould there, just because you get leaves and rubbish collecting there. So it's quite important just to keep that area clean. When you wash your car, just get your hands down there or get the vacuum cleaner in there and just suck out all the water. And it's probably a good idea to pour a bit of water in here just to make sure it does drain out down there in the wheel well. So I've actually taken this windscreen scuttle tray, or whatever you want to call it, off, and I was wrong. There isn't actually a metal tray above the carpet here, as there would be in something like a Renault. So you can sort of understand why this does get damp and mouldy, because it's open to the elements via these grills anyway at the bottom of the windscreen. But looking in here, you've got a drain hole there, a little drain hole at the bottom there, and then your other drain hole here. So all the water pretty much is going down into the corners. So that's what you just want to make sure is always kept clean and free of debris. So the point of this video was really just to say, you know, if you see mould on your van like there is here, usually it's much worse. It doesn't mean there's a problem with the vehicle, and doesn't mean there's water leaking as such, but do check those drain holes. But you get that mould on this fabric material on all these vans, regardless of the age or mileage, and really there's not much you can do about it. Okie doke, hope this video helps. If it has, do hit the thumbs up button, helps other people find the channel, and I'll see you on the next video.